Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd Chrisley breaks social media silence. Despite being behind bars for a 12-year sentence, Todd Chrisley just broke his Instagram silence. A quick scroll through his profile reveals December of last year, a few days before Christmas, was the last time he posted anything on his Instagram profile. So, what does Todd have to say to his 2.2 followers from behind bars? Keep reading for the full story. Todd Chrisley breaks social media silence. Posting for the first time in just shy of a year on his profile, Todd Chrisley continues to call out the corrupt justice system that put himself and his wife behind bars. At the very end of the lengthy post, the caption does clarify the post was made by Todd Chrisley's team. Now, Savannah Chrisley has previously admitted during her podcast that she controls both her father's and her mother's Instagram accounts, so fans assume it was her who made this post. Savannah even popped into the comments, seemingly confirming it. In her comment, she declared that nothing would stop her from continuing to fight. The post was not about the Chrisleys. Shockingly, the post was about the broken justice system. It, however, was not about Todd and Julie's situation, at least not directly. The post was about a man who was incarcerated with Todd, a man who the family felt also got taken to the cleaners by the corrupt justice system, a man with a voice people needed to hear. The caption of the post explained, "Our federal system is broken. Please take time to read this letter from a man that is incarcerated with me. He is the chairman of the Black Republican Caucus of Florida." Todd's post continued by asking when the BOP would finally be held accountable for mending the broken system. The post noted the conditions of the facility Todd was locked up in were scary, dangerous, and needed to be investigated. Chrisley knows best fans react. Many fans admitted to Savannah and her father that they just weren't going to read the letter because it was entirely too long. Many, however, stood behind her in agreement that Todd and Julie should be free. Surprisingly, Todd's Instagram comments have been turned on for the first time in nearly a year. For months, Todd Chrisley's voice had been noticeably absent from the bustling world of social media. Once a daily fixture on Instagram and Twitter, whether it was a snarky one-liner, inspirational quote, or a glimpse into the glittering chaos of Chrisley family life, Todd had gone silent. His followers, accustomed to his quick wit and southern charm, had been left refreshing their feeds in vain. That changed on a quiet Sunday afternoon when a single notification sent shockwaves through his fan base. Todd Chrisley had posted. The post was simple, a photo taken in soft, golden light. Todd sat in a high-backed armchair, his trademark perfectly coiffed hair intact, wearing a fitted navy sweater. His expression was serene, but his eyes held the glint of a man with something to say. The caption read, "Silence doesn't mean surrender. Growth happens in the quiet. I've been working, praying, and learning. And now, I'm ready to talk." Within minutes, comments poured in by the thousands. Fans rejoiced, skeptics speculated, and gossip accounts scrambled to screenshot every pixel. This wasn't just a post, it was an event. The build-up to the silence. In the months leading up to his hiatus, Todd's public life had been anything but quiet. Legal battles, family tensions, and the constant pressure of public perception had created a perfect storm. For a man who built a brand on controlling his image, his narrative, even the lighting in his kitchen, being at the mercy of headlines had been a test. Close friends said he'd retreated not out of defeat, but out of discipline. Todd's the kind of person who knows the power of timing, a family insider shared. If he's quiet, it's because he's planning his next move. The first video back. Hours after the initial post, Todd uploaded a short video, filmed in what appeared to be his living room. The walls were lined with framed family photos, the lighting warm but deliberate. He leaned slightly forward, speaking directly to the camera. "It's been a while," he began, his voice carrying the same measured confidence that had won him fans years ago. "I know you've had questions. I know there have been stories. But I also know this. Truth takes time, and healing takes even longer. He didn't dive into the specifics of his absence just yet. Instead, he spoke about faith, resilience, and the importance of knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. He described the past months as the refining fire that had tested him but also stripped away distractions. "I've learned that silence can be louder than any microphone," he said with a half smile. "But now, I'm ready for a conversation." The reaction? The internet reacted like it always does, loudly. His loyal fanbase flooded the comments with heart emojis, prayers, and declarations of unwavering support. But mixed in were pointed questions. Was this a precursor to a tell-all interview? Was he preparing to spill tea about former allies? And most intriguingly, would the rest of the Chrisley family make appearances in his return? Savannah Chrisley reposted his photo with a simple "Welcome back, Dad," which only fueled speculation that the family was preparing a united front. Grayson liked the post but said nothing, while Nanny Faye, never one to miss an opportunity for sass, commented, "About time, sugar." Hints of a bigger plan. In the days following his return, Todd began posting regularly again, though with a noticeably different tone. Gone were the quick clapbacks and viral quips. Instead, he shared longer captions, mini essays about life lessons, forgiveness, and the danger of letting bitterness take root. One post featured a picture of his morning coffee with the words, "I used to drink this while scrolling through comments. Now, I drink it while talking to God." Fans began to suspect this was all leading somewhere: a podcast relaunch, a memoir, maybe even a new reality show chronicling his redemption arc. And then came the teaser. The teaser that broke the internet. A 7-second clip dropped on his Instagram stories one Thursday evening. It was just the sound of a door opening, footsteps, and Todd's voice saying, "Y'all thought the story was over?" in that trademark drawl. No context, no release date, just intrigue. Theories spread like wildfire. Was this about his legal situation? A sit-down with a major news outlet? Or perhaps a new unscripted series produced by one of his former network contacts? One entertainment blogger claimed that Todd had been quietly negotiating with multiple platforms for an exclusive, raw interview in which he'd address not only his absence, but also the media frenzy around his family. Whether that was true or just internet smoke, the buzz worked in his favor. A softer, sharper Todd. Those closest to Todd say that his time away reshaped his priorities. "He's still Todd," Savannah reportedly told a friend. "He's still sharp as a tack and not afraid to speak his mind." But now there's a patience there, a willingness to listen first. It's new for him. In one of his most shared new posts, Todd wrote, "I used to fight to win arguments. Now I fight to protect my peace. And believe me, that's a much harder battle." The words resonated beyond his usual audience, with motivational accounts reposting them and pastors referencing them in Sunday sermons. The promise of what's next. By the second week of his return, Todd had shifted from cryptic hints to outright promises. He announced he would be hosting a live Q&A on Instagram the following Friday, where he would answer as much as I'm legally allowed to, and probably more than I should. The internet braced for fireworks. If history had taught fans anything, it was that Todd Chrisley doesn't do subtle when the cameras or smartphones are rolling. On the day of the Q&A, over 250,000 people tuned in. He sat in front of a cozy fireplace, sipping tea from a mug that read, "Bless your heart." For nearly an hour, Todd fielded questions about family life, personal growth, and yes, some carefully worded remarks about the headlines that had swirled in his absence. "I'm not here to relitigate the past," he said at one point, "but I am here to tell you this: God's not done with me yet. And if you've been rooting for me, hang on tight. We're just getting started." The takeaway: Todd Chrisley's social media comeback wasn't loud in the way some expected. It didn't hinge on dragging enemies or stoking feuds. Instead, it was a slow, deliberate build, a reintroduction rather than a re-entry. Whether it's part of a bigger business move or simply a personal decision to reconnect with his audience, one thing is clear: Todd understands the power of absence, and now he's using the power of presence.